Welcome to the debauchery. We have such sights to show you.
Here's Johnny!
All you have left is my desire for you.
Oh, no tears, please. It's a waste of good suffering.
What's up, all you horror movie loving fuckers? We're back for another week of Fright Flick FMK. As always, I am your host, Jay, and on this week's episode, I'm joined once again by the Fright Flick family member, Jamie. Jamie, how you been?
Hi, very well. Thanks for having me again.
Oh, you knew for this movie we're doing this week, you knew you were going to be the one. Like, you know, we have to do this one because in case y'all people don't know, me and Jamie both are huge Bill Oberst Jr. fans. And a quick little spoiler this week, you all know I gave you a heads up earlier in the week. We are covering A Stranger in the Woods. Brand new movie just came out. Got our guy Bill Oberst Jr. in it. So you hit me up like the day before yesterday, or was yesterday, because I didn't know it was out to watch yet.
Yeah, I had saved the date. I knew it was April 30.
Yeah. And so you'd hit me up, said you were getting ready to watch it, and I'm like, well, fuck, man, I gotta watch it. And then I'm like, you'd hit me up like, we need to do this. You want to do a show on it this week? Because I was asking you for recommendations, and because I had no clue what I wanted to talk about this week. And then that's when you hit me up like, well, I'm getting ready to watch Stranger in the Woods, and I'm kind of like, what the fuck? It's out. And, and just so you all know, family, the ones that are out there listening, Bill Oberst Jr. he's top of the list for us here. Like, that's my favorite actor. And so if he's got some new shit coming out, he's trumping everything. I don't give a fuck what comes out.
Yes.
You know, talking about Bill Oberst Jr. shit this week. And so I'm looking forward to getting into this one. But before I do, let me real quick, little housekeeping shit. Hey, everybody who stopped by last week or so and listened to the episode, who stopped by and listened, hey, I appreciate it. For some reason, a lot of you out there like the YouTube side of this all more than the podcasting, like the Spotify, the Apple. Hey, you guys killed it on the fucking YouTube side for Late Night with the Devil. Like, fucking killed it. Like, the numbers were like, my brother hit me up. He was like, hey, man, congrats on the numbers. I hadn't even looked at it yet until he hit me up. And y'all fucking killed it on the YouTube side of things. So, you know, I think it's just because you all get to look at me, you know, and that's why y'all tune into the YouTube. I get it, you know, but I appreciate everybody who has, you know, stopped by and listened, taking some time out of your day to listen to this shit show. I definitely appreciate it. Like I said, always stop by, give us a like, subscribe, follow, leave comments, leave recommendations. Like as of yesterday, I had no clue what we were going to talk about this week because I never have a plan. So I'm always looking for suggestions. And so stop by, give me an idea, and we will, if it's something I think that's worth getting on here talking shit about, I'll talk about it. But I am super excited to be back on here with another, you know, huge fan of Bill Oberst. You might be you're right up there with me as far as fan level.
Yeah, absolutely. And
you've actually met Bill.
Oh, I've met Bill. It was fabulous. But you've talked to him. You have Bill's number.
It's true. Bill has texted me on my cell phone before, and we have emailed, you know, so.
Ooh, I didn't know you've emailed.
Oh, yeah, we have emailed, and there has been a text message back and forth with Bill. And, you know, I that's a pretty big thing for me. I kind of flaunt that out there a little bit. That's like my way of popping my collar for me. You know, it's like, you know.
Totally. Yeah. You're like, oh, yeah, my friend Bill.
That's what I tell people now. Y'all, shit. Bill email like it's nothing. Like, you know.
Well, and Jay, I've told you before, but for anyone who hasn't heard this before, Bill is how I heard of Fright Flick FMK because, of course, I'm friends with him and follow him on Facebook, and he posted about his birthday month, and you let him pick for movies, and I'm like, what? Are you kidding me? So that's how I heard about your show is through Bill. And then immediately I was like, finally, I have someone else I can talk to about my love for this actor, and my love of horror in general, because a lot of my friends don't really love it as much as I do. So it's nice to have someone that is a huge fan.
Oh yeah, and so it's all come full circle. Here we are now. Now we've been on here numerous times doing shows together, talking about movies, and this is our first time getting to talk about a Bill O'Burst movie together.
Yeah,
And,
we've segued a few times and talked about him.
oh yeah, we've definitely went down some back roads, and we may be talking about one movie and then we end up on Bill somehow. But hey, around here, Bill's up here, people. Like I said,
Yes.
it's Bill O'Burst Jr., then every fucking thing else after that. So
phenomenal actor and really a nice guy.
Oh yeah. This dude is as down to earth.
Yes.
Like nice guy, and just so fucking talented. And
Absolutely.
and like when I stumbled across it with Circus of the Dead, and and it was just like, who the fuck is this guy? And then all of a sudden it was just like a rabbit hole. Then it was like, well, shit, I want to see this. I want to what else has he done? And like I said, I've been lucky enough to be able to have had him on the show, and he's talked here on the show and done stuff like that. So I am, anytime he's got something coming out, and I'm all for coming on here and I want to talk about it. So I'm super excited about this one. Stranger in the Woods, brand new, just came to video on demand. What, the 30th? I think it was the 30th.
April 30. And I had to find out, I was like, I don't know what it's on. So I Googled it, and I don't know if anything's changed from when it came out on the 30th, but I had to buy it on Vudu, which is now Fandango Home.
Yeah, it's like they've combined them now, because when I did it also, because I had to buy it also once you told me it was out, I was on the Vudu / Fandango, whatever.
Yeah, I was like,
I had to get it, because you could rent it for like $3, and I was like, nope.
I'm buying it. It.
Bill to me is worth more than a rental, people. I am not renting Bill O'Burst Jr.
I am not either.
I am spending the fucking $9 or $10, and I'm buying Bill, damn it. I don't rent Bill. Bill gets bought in this house.
Yeah, yeah. Bill gets bought. And then there's the buy option. There's like the HD and the whatever the other one is. And I don't know. I'm not technologically inclined. So I was like, the more expensive one.
I did the same thing. I got the super high def, whatever the hell that shit is,
Whatever that is. Yes. And then I realized, I guess I haven't been on Vudu in some time. So I was like, oh, let me see. Oh, I do have some movies saved. The only movies that I have, my list, if you will, on Vudu is all Bill Oberst Jr. And it's some stuff that I haven't even watched, because he just like did a voiceover in a kiddie movie. And I'm like, well, I'll probably never watch it, but it's in my saved pile in case I ever needed to just hear his voice.
and one thing I noticed with Vudu the other day, I'm getting the Bill movie, and I'm just kind of scrolling through because I haven't been on there in a minute. Vudu has a Serbian film that you can stream for free. Right there on fucking Vudu, a Serbian film. And I was like, holy shit, these motherfuckers have a Serbian film. And you didn't have to buy it. It was like free to stream right there. Bam, just watch a Serbian film. And I was like, fuck yeah, Vudu. Fucking love you for having some shit like that on there.
That is what I'm saying. Like, I subscribe to what? Shudder and Prime and Hulu and Max and blah, blah, blah. But Vudu, I find stuff that I don't see on any other streaming service. So.
But Vudu also has a lot of shit you could like porn level type shit. As I'm scrolling through there, there's a lot of stuff that had like some like sexual type, like there's a lot of like, spank your monkey type shit on there that you could watch. Because I'm scrolling through there and I'm looking at some of these pictures. I'm like, man, this is some shit that you could, fast forward through some parts and handle your business on,
Right, I don't need a storyline in this movie.
No, you just gotta. I just need the fast forward button. I want to get to the part where she's moaning and yelling and handle my business. And Voodoo has a ton of fucking of that shit. I was like, as I'm scrolling through, I was like, it's like late night Cinemax back in the day when like cable and shit was so big, and you get that late nights like HBO channel or late night Cinemax, and you might see some boobies. And Voodoo's got a lot of them motherfucking movies to where you're gonna see some titties.
Woohoo!
And I was just scrolling through and I'm like, holy shit, man, this is like they should like make a category called Spank Bank or something where just where you can fucking,
Great
push play and handle your business,
Well, you can make your own category because you can make a list like I did with my BOJ list, and you can have a Spank Bank list.
This is true. But hey, go check out Voodoo, people, for either the horror movies, Billow Burst, Serbian film, Spank Bank. It's got it all, the fucking Voodoo. But one thing, this is going to kind of be off subject real quick, family. We got to go a little off the horror movie side because there was something I need to ask Jamie about. Earlier today, there's another podcast I listen to all the time. Like there's certain ones that I tune into weekly. Like I'm going to have to listen to them every week. There's one called, I don't know if you've heard of it yet, called the Scream Queer Podcast. Have you heard of it?
I have not heard that.
Look it up. My main dude, Ralph, a Scream Queer Podcast. So fucking good. Like every week I'm tuning in, and so, and it's not even like every week, like he drops some stuff like just kind of random too, but he's on my download list on Apple Podcast. I'm there every time one comes out. I really enjoy his show.
Oh, good to know.
His latest episode, there's a part in his show where he is talking about there is something's going on with like somebody's getting like some hate comments, whatever, through social media, because some people have maybe talked a little smack about some Swifties. Hold on. And this made me think of you because we're friends on Facebook and you post, repost, whatever, a lot with some Taylor Swift stuff.
I am a Swiftie.
You see, there we go. I knew you were, and this is what made me think of you.
Yes, I am.
I was like, when he started talking about this, I'm like, really? There's people out there that because somebody talks a little smack about Taylor fucking Swift, like motherfuckers are getting like hate messages, like death threat type shit because of this Swiftie cult movement. I will say it, people. I ain't fucking scared of you fucking Swifties. The Swiftie cult movement. Now I'm talking. I got somebody on here right now who has admitted she is a Swiftie.
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah.
Why is people getting? Why do people get so worked up if somebody does not think that Taylor Swift is the next? Is just like fucking walks on water or some shit. I don't fucking get it.
People do get really mad about it.
They do.
I will give you the shortest story I can about how I became a Swiftie. So I work, as you guys may or may not know, I'm a bra fit specialist. So I work in a women's boutique where women, most of my clients are women. It's a boutique. So we have to keep our playlists in the store, friendly, safe for work, something that matches the environment, and it's girly, it's real girly. So we listen to a lot of dance music and Britney Spears and whatever,
maybe one more time.
So yeah, I love me some Brit too. Again, things I didn't know because I love punk rock. For example, I love all sorts of music, but it was a few months ago, and I'm at work and I'm listening to a song on the playlist, and I'm like, this is actually a pretty catchy little pop tune. I like it. Let me Shazam this. That's Taylor Swift. And then I kept doing it. I would hear another song I liked, and I'm like, holy shit, that's another Taylor Swift song. Holy shit. So then I realized I really like her music. Then I started watching her videos, which she produces herself, she stars in, she directs, and I'm like, wait a minute, all this joking aside, because I've heard about all the Tay-Tay drama, like like you're saying, all the people hating because you hate on Tay-Tay and then whatever. But I was like, well, all of that drama aside for a minute, in my opinion, she writes very good songs. Maybe only, and my sister was like, oh, but it's so, her audience is 13-year-old girls. And I'm like, well, maybe I'm still an angsty 13-year-old girl. I don't know. But I think she's a very good songwriter. She's a talented musician. I just think she nails it as a performer. And then I'll admit, I see some of those, negative comments, and I have to be like, just don't even say anything, because
see, there it is. You're part of the cult.
I don't want to say anything. I don't want to say anything. I just say, listen to her music and you might change your mind. But then again, if you're a 50-year-old man, she may not be, you're not her audience. I didn't think I would be her audience because I'm a 51-year-old woman who doesn't really care for pop music that much.
Yeah.
But anyway, I think she's a badass, and I think the Swiftie stuff is kind of funny. And the funniest part is she doesn't give a fuck. She's laughing all the way to the bank. Is she talking about us right now? No, she doesn't care about us. So people need to stop hating each other, whether you're for or against. And I don't know.
and that's what I was when I'm listening to the podcast, like the Screen Queer podcast, Ralph, and he was talking about it, and I was like, really? This people out there, because I turned 40. The fuck do I turn this year? 48?
Yeah, you're younger than me.
Yeah, I turned 48 this year in August. And so I'm kind of like, when he's talking about it, I'm like, and I know I'm older, so I'm not hip with the times, but I'm this, and I'm like, really? Is there, because let's just say this person makes this comment. Let's just say they say the latest Taylor Swift album, which I think just recently came out.
It did.
Basically, I've learned all that by your post only. That's the only reason I know that shit, because you'll be like posting like Taylor Swift. And, and as I see it, I'm like, is Jamie a Swiftie? Is Jamie a Swiftie? And you have admitted it, that you are 100%.
I'm a Swiftie.
And there's no judgment on this show, fam. There's no judgment here. Everybody's welcome here at the shit show. So I'm not saying it like in a bad way. But the part that threw me, what people that are out there, because somebody may say that, let's just say Taylor Swift's last album was meh. It was okay. Let's just say that.
What?
and that's just it. The people that were willing to get online and just go after somebody because they disagree with your fucking opinion.
Yeah.
And that just that part it threw me when he's talking about it. I'm like, really? People are that serious? Like you are standing by your keyboard, you fucking keyboard pussy. Like you're waiting to just be like, tick, 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 tick. How dare you badmouth Taylor Swift? Blah, 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 blah.
Right.
And to be honest with you, I haven't listened to one song off that fucking album. Yeah. And will I? No.
Because Taylor Swift is not talking to you, you know?
I'm not, but I don't. And like I said, I remember when Taylor was coming out the gate. I remember when Taylor was like, I remember country Taylor Swift, and I remember, and I've always, does she have some catchy songs? Yeah. Is it in my wheelhouse? No, but I am grown up enough to be like, okay, that's not my cup of tea.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to hate on Jamie because Jamie comes on here and she says she's a fucking diehard Swiftie. I'm not hating on her for it. I'm not, she's not threatening to come burn my house down because I think I don't fucking worship. I'm not a Swiftie. She's not, and that's what grown-ups do, people. We can
Exactly.
we can have an opinion and it be two different opinions, and we
Yeah.
still be okay about it. Me
And
and David still gonna sit here and drink fucking alcohol tonight and talk shit about a stranger in the woods,
yeah.
even though I'm not a self-proclaimed Swiftie.
Exactly. And it's like, I don't know. And I did actually listen. I listened to a few tracks off of the album so far. I haven't purchased it yet, but I've listened to some of the songs. And because of me and my life experiences and who I am, I sat here and I was like, oh my God, it's such a pretty song. She knows exactly how I feel. But Jay, she doesn't know how you feel. She just knows how I feel.
She
and
Taylor, if you want to write a song, we'll take you to some dark places, Taylor. We will take
and that's the thing. Like when you said you haven't listened to anything off the new album, she sings about some dark shit. She sings about addiction and depression and having to do your job when you don't want to get out of bed. And I'm like, been there. Like,
but has Taylor been there?
I haven't been a bajillionaire who's been depressed or.
I would like to try it though. I would like to try. Let me be a billionaire.
That would be the death of me.
And then let me see how I wake up tomorrow morning. Drop a few million in my bank, Miss Taylor, and let me see how I wake up in the morning. I think I'll be a little more chipper. I guarantee it. I'll be in a better mood tomorrow.
Yeah. I mean, the choice of being, if you had the choice of being depressed and
rich.
I mean, come on. Okay, everything's better when you have money. It just is, I'm assuming.
That's like that old saying, like when the people who, I remember growing up, the people that money don't buy happiness. I'm like, well, let me fucking at least give it a try for a while. I mean, shit.
I wouldn't know. Let me draw my own conclusion.
That's some shit rich people say, damn it. Fuck.
I know, right?
But
exactly.
Hey, people who are listening to this, and hey, don't threaten to burn my house down because I'm not a fucking Swiftie. Hey, I was just curious because I'm trying to understand the Swiftie cult movement.
Yeah. My sister thought I was joking when I said, "Ooh, I love this Taylor Swift song," and I sent her a video, and it was the one "Anti-Hero," which is my all-time favorite Taylor Swift song. And my sister sent me a ha emoji, and I'm like, "What's so funny? Will you just listen to the song I sent you before you ha it?" And then she listened, and she was, being diplomatic and saying, "It's okay, it's pretty good." And I'm like, I listen to that and cry on my way to work sometimes.
Because there is that one song that she did, what was it? I don't fucking know, a couple years ago. What was that one that was so fucking catchy? You see it on TikTok all the time. It's the one that you just it gets stuck in your fucking head.
It's not the Shake It Off song, is it?
Yeah, that's the one, the Shake It Off song. Listen, I'm not a Swiftie, people.
Yeah.
I came across that song off of fucking TikTok. And after I seen it on TikTok, I said, I got to listen to it. I want to hear it. I listened to it. And then I'm kind of mad because 45 minutes later, here I am humming that shit in my head. It's like a fucking message in it that just gets in your head. And you got to roll with it. And then the next thing you know, every fucking TikTok you come across, you sing along with that motherfucker. Like it's such a. That's probably the last Taylor Swift song I've listened to all the way through.
That's so funny.
And it's not a bad. I'm not gonna hate on it. It's had me humming along a couple times. When I hear it. So
yeah, hey. And I like that it's a really cheeky song because she.
It is that.
Hate,
it's got 12-year-old written all over it, but damn it, it catches us all. It just pulls us in. You got grown ass fucking police officers driving down the road singing this shit. And so I'm just like, hey, you must be doing something right, kiddo. Like, good job. You know,
Yeah.
I ain't mad at you. So Swifties out there, I'm not hating on you. I was just curious about like why y'all hate on somebody who may not just don't see it the same way you do. Don't do that. Let people have their opinions. Like, I'm not mad at Jamie because she's a fucking dedicated Swiftie. I'm still gonna have her on the show again. I'm not gonna have this be a last episode where I'll be like, fuck that shit. She just came out this. She was a fucking Swiftie. Not in this house. I'm not gonna do that. Around here, we you know, we don't judge nothing here, people. Like I said, we welcome it all. Swifties and all welcome here. It's a safe place here at the shit show.
Oh my God.
But hey, I had no clue it was that way until I was listening to, like I said, go check out a Screen Queer podcast. Listen to Ralph. It is a very fun show. And it's not just strictly horror. It's like, give it a listen, and hey, me and Ralph this isn't like a promo swap thing, people. This is just me telling y'all, like, hey man, I listened to his podcast. It's really good. And it's not a thing that, sometimes podcasts get on here and they swap promos. This is one of them moments, people. This is me saying, I listen to this dude all the time. Enjoy it. Go give him a fucking listen.
I'm gonna add him to my list because I love podcast recommendations.
Yeah, I do too. And like I said, I enjoy his. Every week I'm tuned in to listen to Ralph, damn it.
Yeah, podcasts, like when I'm getting ready for work, I need to listen to a podcast. For some reason, I don't want to listen to music. I want to listen to a podcast. If I'm exercising, podcast. I said if.
Sometimes we just don't want to do it, people. We're at that age, damn it, it's optional. We don't want to be doing it.
It is so fucking optional at this point. I mean, shit, no. Trust me, like I said, in my line of work, I see half naked bodies all day, and don't waste your time, people, because we're all gonna go south.
At some point, gravity takes over and it does its thing. But we're done with the cult movement talk. Now we're gonna shift gears over to what we're here to talk about tonight: a stranger in the woods.
And people are always so insulted when you say it's a cult, but go ahead. Yes.
It's just me joking, talking shit, people. I don't think y'all a cult, unless y'all try to pop off at me in some comment sections. Then I'll say what I want. But
we're a cult when we start making Kool-Aid.
Hey, yeah, that's right. And that's kind of what y'all doing when y'all try to like threaten a motherfucker because he don't agree with you. And y'all giving out some damn threats and shit. That's kind of like, making people like, if you don't drink our Kool-Aid, you ain't cool. Like, no, bitch, just because I don't like your fucking Kool-Aid, that don't mean I don't like you. We can get along.
But don't make me drink it.
Yeah, I'm not drinking your Kool-Aid. But hey, I want to let you take this one because who is this? This is brand new, Ridergate 2024.
Yes.
Directed by, you take it. You've been working on it.
My God, because I've practiced all day, and I apologize in advance to this gifted director, Joseph Galay. Oh, God damn it, that's not right. Joseph Galay. Joseph Galay.
Joseph Galaya.
Joseph Galaya.
Joseph Galaya.
Nice.
That's what we're going with. I'm going to go with.
Good job. Good job.
We're not here to pronounce shit right on this show. I tell you every week I butcher names. That's why I don't normally do it.
You got two Southerners here.
Yeah, I'm from the South.
Mispronounce lots of shit.
Yeah, you hear the way I talk, people. There's nothing fancy about me. And, but hey, we're going to talk about this one. This one on hit a couple names. Once again, you all know by now, Bill Oberst Jr. is in this, plays Victor. Then we have Laura Ellen Wilson plays Edith. Mm-hmm. And Joseph is actually in this movie, plays Peter, which will come in later on. Yeah. But that's the main one you need to worry about, and that's the ones we're going to talk about. So I'll give you a quick little backstory. This is right off the old interweb, the website. Like I think IMDb. I know I got this straight from Voodoo. Right when I pulled up Voodoo, this is the description Voodoo gives for this movie. A young film student is about to make a documentary about an elderly man who has been hiding from the world for many years. But the secrets from his past come to life. Their strange relationship takes a fateful turn. That made no fucking sense. And I took that right off the fucking website, and it
I
just
took it off of there too.
it
And I
didn't
was
flow
like,
right though, did it? Because it goes, but the secrets from his past come to life. There's a strange relationship takes a
I read it out loud several times, and I was like, "What is wrong with this sentence?"
I know it didn't make it okay. It wasn't just me then, because
No.
when I put this down in my notes, and I kept looking at it, I'm like, maybe it's just my fucking high school education. Maybe I'm not reading it right. But you just said you read it, and it didn't flow.
No, it didn't float.
So
No.
that's kind of the backstory on this. This is kind of like the plot, how this thing, whatever they call it, fancy word. Now we're about to get into this thing. There's going to be spoiler alerts, and we're going to spoil some shit about this movie. But before we start digging into it, I want to touch on. Let's see, what did you think of the storyline of this movie? Like just the story itself. Not really trying to give away a lot right now, but just.
Well, I thought it was.
Hey, don't worry about it. We know we love Bill. We know this.
Yes.
And sometimes we feel guilty when we come on here. And if it's something we just don't love, we like, fucking Bill's in it, man. You know? And I'm that way sometimes. I get it. But if it's something you don't like, then fucking hey.
I just thought there were some inconsistencies in the story, and it felt like it was straight out of the gate. Definitely had nothing to do. I thought every performance in this film was actually pretty great. I think this was a phenomenal group of actors, even the people whose only voices that we heard, such as Tracy Allen. I think she writes for, I'm blanking right now, but she does a lot of horror writing. She's in the field of horror. So anyway, but I just thought, there wasn't a whole bunch that tells us about the story. Like when we open, we see our young filmmaker Edith, and she's driving, it looks, cross country, kind of it turns out to be, I think, Hungary, which made sense.
Middle of fucking nowhere.
Middle of fucking nowhere. So here's my thing. Maybe it's just because I'm female and always aware. I would not drive in a country where and I'm assuming that she was maybe English or something. She didn't sound Hungarian. So she's driving to another country alone, isolated. Even her, wasn't it her film professor, wasn't that
her school teacher? I think it was like, I put it down as like a school teacher, like her professor, whatever the fuck they call all them smart people in colleges,
Yeah, her professor, her film teacher. And he was like, "Oh, you're one of my favorites, but you're just gonna go work on your next film in the middle of nowhere with this old man, just you and this old man all alone in the middle of nowhere." And he was sure to mention how spotty the cell phone service was.
Oh, that was classic, because damn it, you're not gonna give me a horror movie without giving me some fucking shitty cell phone service.
Yeah, and he even said, "Oh, service is spotty, so, quote, try and find a high spot," quote, to, if she needed to text or email. So basically you're going to the middle of nowhere with someone you've never met. So for me, that's just a red flag factory. The movie wouldn't have been made, because I would have been like, well, I'm not going.
There was so many, like Edith was a very, very trusting person.
Yes.
In this movie. And
yes, she was.
and the story, kind of the storyline behind it, it started off, I'm okay with it, because and right out of the gate, I'm kind of like, I start asking questions because I'm one of those, like, your professor just cuts you loose and gives you this person's name and an address and says, drive out there.
Exactly.
You're going to interview this older guy, and you seem to be okay with it, Edith. Like, you're okay with this. Like,
Yeah.
grab a buddy, grab a girlfriend, grab something to come out, somebody to come out there with you.
Grab a pistol. I mean,
like, and that's the one thing that got me. It was like, so you got this college person that's just you're okay with just driving out in the middle of the fucking nowhere, and interviewing this person. It's not like, you were meeting at some public area. Y'all wasn't just meeting at the food court at the mall, people. Like, some people out there don't understand when I say the food court at the mall. Some of y'all don't get it. That used to be some shit back in the day, man. The food court at the mall, boy.
That's where all the cool kids were.
Hey, a lot of date nights went down at the food court at the mall, people. Hey, don't fucking hate. and but I agree with you though. Everybody in this movie, far actors, actresses, was very good. They, I had zero issues with them playing their parts.
Yes.
There were parts I was questioning Edith a lot. Like,
her decisions
Edith,
solid.
Edith, girlfriend, what are you doing? Like, no, don't do that, Edith. Don't out of those moments in this movie.
Going out in the middle of nowhere to meet some weird old guy who your professor has said he's kind of strange. The word strange came up a lot, which hence stranger in the woods. But
and it's, be honest with you, it's and even when she gets out there and the first time she meets Victor.
Oh yeah.
I love Bill Oberst Jr., but if I didn't met Victor, it took me about 5 fucking minutes to be like, no, I will find some extra credits somewhere else to pass for the school year. I'm not doing this, buddy. We're not. No. But, and she's out there, and like, you see her driving out there. There's like, it's out there. Like,
it's a very secluded area. You can tell there's not any neighbors.
No, like, people, nobody gonna hear you fucking scream out there. And I'm just like, when she gets out there and she's looking around and shit, and I'm just like, no, like, this, who does this, Edith? Like, no, the A is not worth it. Ask for extra credit somewhere else. But it's crazy though, because and it come like later on, I start thinking about it later on in the movie. I'm like, there's other people in the class. Like, why was Edith the one?
Yeah, the only thing I could pick out of that was he did say, you've always been one of my favorites, I think is how he worded it. Yeah, that's some shit.
That's some shit that you get from Pornhub, man. We know how that shit works out. You fucking the teacher, right? That's what you're doing. We've seen those Pornhub videos, people. We know how this shit works. Damn, Edith.
I dated one of my teachers in community college.
Next question is, what was your final grade?
Oh my God, this is so embarrassing. Oh,
no, it's not like you've opened this can of worms, Jamie.
It slipped out.
We are down this rabbit hole now.
It was in community college, and I was in pre-algebra because math has always been really hard for me, and I struggled that whole semester, and I barely passed. And then when I did pass, I called him and I said, would you like to go out sometime for a drink?
So how hard was math?
So yeah, I got my barely passing grade before I ever went out with this guy. But I did ask him out, and he just turned out to be boring because I don't know, he was a math teacher.
He was boring because you already had your passing grade. That's why it was boring.
That's right. And I was like,
If
never
you would have
mind.
been riding a D minus going into this date, I bet you Matt
Right.
would have been a little bit more exciting if he'd have got you up to like a B plus.
And I just want to say, because there are no rules here.
No, none at all.
It was definitely nothing you would ever see on voodoo porn or or what's the other one? I don't watch porn, so I don't know what they are.
Don't
Pornhub.
fucking lie on this damn show. What the fuck are you talking about?
Because we went to
Hold on. Let me throw up the vampire. Stop. If you're listening to this on the podcast right now, I'm throwing up the cross symbol because this person on my show just said they do not watch porn. I'm throwing up the cross symbols right now because damn it, you've got the devil in you.
I think it's boring to watch other people. Don't send me hate mail, but I think watching other people do it is just boring and kind of weird. But
that's just more Pornhub for us then. Thank you very much.
And this was not a Pornhub experience because I think on our last date when we went back to his room at the co-op, because I guess he was a broke ass teacher, he asked me if I wanted to be on top or bottom.
Was that the bunk bed or was that sexual?
It was sexual. And I'm like 22 and I'm like, God, this dude has no game. I think we're going to have to cut this night short.
Oh boy.
So, fellas, if you're out there, don't ask her if she wants to be on top or bottom.
Oh, we've covered a lot on this show, people. We've covered some Swifties. We've covered some what you got to do to pass math.
That is community college pre-algebra.
For all you gentlemen out there, for all you fellas out there, you don't ask top or bottom, people. You don't do it.
Don't do it. You got to have more
flag on the plate.
You got to have more game than that. Because if you ask top or bottom, she's going to say, I'm going to go to Taco Bell on my way home and you're not getting any.
This dude's still alive?
I could Google him. I could look him up. He probably is.
Yeah, curious.
Yeah, I'm going to look him up. When I remember his name,
Damn, you don't remember his name. You know you did something wrong, people, if they don't remember your name. We got it. Okay.
When I remember
math teacher, you fucking suck at life, apparently. So
keep teaching math.
Hey. Okay, we've gotten sidetracked once again. Back to the movie, damn it.
We are back to the movie. We're back to the movie.
Yeah, we were talking about the just the storyline behind it. I thought in the beginning I was good with. I thought I liked it the way it was going. Creepy old guy, just been away from society. Hey, I bought into Victor because I am a very keep to myself type. I don't go out much. I'm a homebody. I could survive and never leave my house.
If I never had to leave my house again, it would be too soon. I just don't want
one of those that can do that. I'm all for it. Walmart could drop my shit off at the front door. Yep. I could order everything through fucking Amazon, and I'm a homebody, and so I get especially where he was at. After where he was at was living the dream, dude. No neighbors.
It's interesting that you say that because I'm looking at the property and I'm thinking about it and I'm like, dude, that's pretty sweet. I would love to be able to afford the luxury of just leaving civilization, of just not having neighbors, of not.
Oh yeah. That's my goal is just not have neighbors, just be able to nobody, want to go out on the front porch butt naked and take a piss off my front porch and nobody's going to see it. That's that's life goals for me, people.
Yeah.
And and this is like the nice little layout, Victor had here. And when she shows up, and she was super nosy when she shows up. She shows up and she's kind of walking around, and you could tell it's almost kind of like a little found footage type movie. And for me, I'm not a fan of found footage. I'm not my thing.
I'm not either.
So when I started picking up on that, I was like, okay, that's just not my cup of tea. But you can tell this is kind of where this thing was going to be like a found footage thing. And when she's kind of looking around and she's trying to find him, well, then, when Victor finally makes himself known and he comes out there and he's talking to her, and dude just got a creepy fucking vibe to him, man. Like,
he opens when he opens with a bad joke. She's like, I think doesn't he come out and kind of surprises her, and then she's like, oh, I'm looking for Victor. And he opens with some joke about, oh, I'm sorry, didn't they tell you, but Victor is dead. And she was like,
oh yeah,
no, but I'm here. And once you get to the end of the movie, you understand
why Victor's dead.
Yeah, he is dead. Spoiler alert, Victor's dead.
Yeah, and
but we don't find that out yet.
and it's funny because when he kind of tells her that, she tries to leave and he comes back out, and she is just so friendly. Like, she is just so, God, you're so gullible.
I was just gonna say gullible and naive.
Just a sucker. Like, you and he wants her, he invites her in and comes in, and this is the first part where my red flags just started popping off. He invites her into the house, she goes into the house, and Victor's like, he's making some coffee, and he comes in, he makes his coffee, he sits 2 coffee cups down on the counter, and I'm sitting there saying this out loud to Edith as I'm watching it. Like, you just met this guy in the middle of nowhere. You go into his house. He sets you down a cup in front of you, has you to drink it. Have you ever watched any type of criminal show ever?
Don't drink it.
You do not. Like, this stranger just offered you a cup of tea or coffee, and she takes it. And I'm like, Edith, come on, girl. Like, this.
Yeah. Next thing you know, you wake up in his torture chamber. I mean, come on.
I knew Victor could have had a red room up in the fucking cabin, and he was about to damn spank you, Edith. You don't know this.
You don't. So come meet me in the middle of nowhere where I have no cell phone reception. It's just the 2 of us, and here, drink some of this.
Yeah. And part of the movie that kind of got to me a little bit, like, there were certain parts that moved too fast. Like, after that, the coffee thing, and there's a part where she's like, there's nothing in the refrigerator. There seems to be nothing to eat in this house. And she basically is like going to go to the store. Yeah. And he's like, he comes out of the shower and he's just like, here's some money, like, going to the store type shit. And it kind of like, it was just moving fast, because I'm like, you just got there. Now this dude is randomly in a shower. He comes out in his towel. Yeah. And we've all seen, I've seen a few Bill O'Burst Jr. movies, people. Bill brings a big package to the table.
Absolutely.
Jamie, you've seen movies. And I'm just like, random dude's house. You just met him. You just drank some fucking weird ass coffee. Now he comes out in a towel. I'm just like, what are we doing, Edith?
He's in his bathrobe, freshly showered. I mean, I did not mind that. I did not mind that one bit. But if I were Edith, I would have already gotten the fuck out of there. Yeah. Because he's in the shower and he's coming out of, and he's in, he's dripping wet, half naked. He's like,
Bill is still moist.
He Yes,
And I
indeed.
fucking hate that word. I just like saying it every now and then. I hate that word moist. Bill
Yes.
comes out the shower, like still pretty fucking wet. And
Dewy fresh.
yeah, and he's like, he tells her, he gives her some money. And then he like, and you can tell he leans in and gives her a hug. And he's like, thank you for being here. And I'm like, Edith, if you don't get your fucking keys and
Yeah.
leave. But no,
Yeah.
Edith
Yeah.
is a fucking sweetheart that
Yeah.
just trusts
Yeah.
everybody. And
Handed her a hundy and gave her an awkward hug.
yeah. And then it's like she goes to the store, and of course she comes back,
She's
and
got groceries.
yeah, and she's putting some shit in the refrigerator.
Uh-huh. And
And
when she does that, oh, and we need to mention that this is one of those little like dorm fridges. It's like a little
oh
kid
yeah,
fridge.
it's a mini fridge, people.
Yeah. So he's got this big, beautiful house in the middle of nowhere. But I mean, I guess he doesn't really need to refrigerate a whole lot of things now, does he?
Because when she checks that fridge, there's two. The only thing in this whole fridge is two bottles. There's one kind of full bottle, one kind of half empty bottle. You don't know what the fuck it is. And so she goes out.
Oh, they're glass bottles. I
Yeah.
assumed it was coffee, but
I thought some of that fancy coffee he was taking earlier.
else. It could have been something else.
And so our girl Edith goes out to the store, comes back, puts some shit in the refrigerator. Then she goes out on a walk. And once again, Edith, you're in the middle of fucking nowhere. You just met this creepy old dude, Victor, and now you're just out going for a walk in a place that you already know don't have great cell phone service. And then when she gets out there, and then all of a sudden, this is where it plays you like a police recording. It's like evidence type thing. And it plays this video, and she's like calling her fucking Nana and talking to her Nana.
I did like Nana, by the way. We didn't mention Nana when we
Yeah.
mentioned players,
Nana,
but-
especially when she comes in toward the end of it.
Oh, I like Nana. I like Nana a lot.
Any old lady that drops the fuck word, I am on board with.
Drops the F-bomb. It's in my notes. Nana was on it. And Nana is her grandmother who is American. So yeah, we'll learn that a little bit later. But yeah, it is. It's an SD card that we see like a shot of, like you said, the data archive by the police document. It's got a number. And that's when I was like, oh, that's Edith's Nana. So it's I guess we're listening to a message. No, we're listening to the
voicemail.
The conversation.
Voicemail.
Yeah.
And
so she mentions how strange the interviewee is.
Yeah. Your dumb ass still stayed in the house, Edith.
I mean, think about it. And the more we talk about it, the more I'm like, dude,
there was so many signs, Edith. So many.
There were so many signs
flags.
that were clearly targeted.
And later on, like the one part this the part where it kind of really annoyed me. And so at some point during this night, she gets up, she hears a noise, she goes out there, she's got the camera's got the little night vision bullshit going on, and she's kind of looking around, looking for Victor. And as she's going through, she's walking outside. And the one part that annoyed me was the fucking whisper sound. It's just like, Victor. Damn it. If I want to find fucking Victor, I'm yelling for fucking Victor. Like if I'm in this house by myself and I can't find nobody, I'm yelling, damn it. And
who else
like,
are you going to wake up? It's you and Victor. Don't worry about.
Because when she came out, remember the refrigerator was open. The little mini fridge was open. Those bottles were gone. Them two bottles were not in there anymore. And so she goes outside and she's walking, looking for Victor. And next thing you know, when she's coming back toward the house, and then all of a sudden it just ends.
Yeah.
And the next day we're sitting down with Victor about to do an interview. And I'm like, what? Where the fuck was Victor? Where was you just gave us all of this buildup of looking for him.
Uh-huh.
And here we are now, next day. Now we're just interviewing. Like no questions are answered, people.
Yeah. And Victor is in his little interview chair in the living room, and he's wearing his little old man sweater, and and he's sitting there like just yeah, it's kind of weird, looking weird.
I was kind of annoyed when that part after she went out looking for him, and then it jumped to the next day and she's getting ready to interview him. I'm like,
like what happens? You didn't find him and you saw something was disheveled.
If you woke up in the middle of the night, you seen the refrigerator open, you couldn't find Victor, you went outside looking for said Victor, and then you didn't find him. So you mean to tell me you brought your ass back in the house and just went and crawled into bed and went to sleep? No questions asked.
It was just like the 12th time you didn't leave when you should have.
Yeah. It was like what's going on? And then the next day we have Victor, and now she's getting ready to sit down and interview him. And like you said, he's got it, and Bill dropped some LBs for this movie.
Mm-hmm.
I think wherever he dropped like 12 to 15, he dropped some weight to do this movie because he was fucking scrawny. Like he was scrawny, and you could tell by just the way he was dressed and sitting there.
Yeah.
And this is another part that kind of bugs me. When she's getting ready to do the interview, she puts the microphone on Victor.
Mm-hmm.
And if I'm doing an interview with somebody, and if somebody's going to watch this interview, you would think the person watching this interview wants to hear the questions you were asking this person. I was so mad because I had to raise my fucking volume up just to hear the shit Edith was asking Victor. And like, I could barely hear Edith, and then it's like fucking Victor's yelling at me. And I'm just like, what the fuck?
Yeah. Yeah. And you're right. And actually, I had to turn it up, and for some reason my subtitles, so I am old, therefore subtitles when I watch movies.
Did they work for you?
No.
Oh, me neither.
Oh, damn it. I was so mad. So I tried in my living room, and I'm like, I can't get the subtitles to work. And I do share a wall with a neighbor, and so I didn't want to crank it too hard because I didn't. And so I was like, well, I'll just go watch it in the other room. And I'm like, it's not working on this TV either. And I'm like, damn it, dude. So I'm a big fan of subtitles. I just have to, I don't even have to hear the movie if I can just read it, you know?
And when I couldn't read it, I was getting annoyed because I watch subtitles on everything.
Same.
That's just like live sports. I don't. But if it's a movie, I have subtitles on. And when I couldn't get the subtitles to work, I was like, already flag and play, damn it. Like
I was like, let's try that other TV.
And when the interview's going on, there's parts you couldn't hear what she was asking him. And I'm trying to be like, what the fuck is going on? And he's sitting there telling the story, and she's kind of asking him, about him being there. And he basically comes out and basically tells her kind of like how he wanted to disappear from society, and talked about when he had bought the house. And I'm all for it. And I'm feeling it. I'm like, dude, I get it.
Yeah.
100%. If I could buy me a nice little pad like he had in the middle of nowhere, I'd be all over it.
And y'all never see me again. Bye.
Hell no.
Totally.
Yeah. And I remember the one part that I thought was my first creepy part of Victor is where he comes out and he asks her if she ever hears the trees whisper. Like if you ever hear the sweet trees whispering. And the way he said that, I fucking loved it. I was like, there it is. There's that creepy Bill part. Just puts out so fucking good.
Because, think about this too. Like somebody can ask you that, like say you're looking at the trees with your wife and she's like, oh, babe, do you ever hear the trees whisper? And you're like, sure, honey. But That's not how he was asking it. He was like, do
Um,
you ever hear the trees whisper?
yeah, he said it in a very creepy. It wasn't a like nice little way he
It
said it.
wasn't like, oh, nature, do you hear the trees
Yeah,
whisper? It
he
was
said
not,
that
that's,
shit super creepy.
yeah.
And once again, I would have been looking for my car keys, and I would
Yep.
have been exiting the house. And
Yes.
but she keeps on, and I'm trying to listen because once again, she's not mic'd up. All I'm hearing is her half-ass whispering, and then Bill talking. And he talks about how he used to be a cab driver, and he
Mhm.
talks about how like he didn't have no TV, no radio. And basically, he learned everything from his passengers. Like he would just listen
Mhm.
and talk to them, and that kind of made some sense to me in a way that was kind of cool. Like,
Yeah.
he was just listening to people and what they talked about. That's how he learned about everything, apparently.
Yeah.
And then this conversation ends, and then it's like she's making some
Oh,
fucking sandwiches.
yes. We cut to, again, it's the cut to this next scene making sandwiches. So that choppy, I think that's something that I'm not a big fan of either, is we're just jumping from this moment to that moment. And then I'm like, oh, we're making sandwiches, because earlier she was making little snacks that look like little maybe apples and cheese or something. And then I'm looking at what she's wearing and I'm like, wait, was that pre-breakfast and this is breakfast? Because this looks like breakfast, but you guys already ate earlier today. Was that just like snack? So I was a little confused about that. Just, yeah, the timeline of the sandwiches was a little bit off too. But while she's doing that, Victor's totally distracted because he's got that great big beautiful open window to the woods, and
He's
he's got
looking at
that
something. He's
focus on something.
Yeah, he's just looking, and she goes over there, and he's talking to her about how there's an intruder or some shit.
That's what he called it.
Yeah, and apparently she's looking, and apparently she sees something because she goes running out there, and she's basically yelling for it, like kind of like to piss off. And
Yeah.
I'm like, what the fuck did you see? Because I didn't see nothing.
So did she see it, or was she trying to appease Victor?
Yeah, I think she was trying to kiss Victor's ass or something because she runs out there. And I'm just kind of like, what are you doing? Like, I didn't see anything. And and then the next thing we're going to jump scenes again. And
Mhm.
she's leaving a recording, basically saying, kind of like to her camera, letting her know, like, hey, like tomorrow, like she wants to like up the questions a little more, like she wants to try to pry a little more. And she even makes a comment in the recording, like kind of like how strange he is. And
Mhm.
I'm sitting there still going, like, so you just come out and said how strange this is, but here you are still. Like, are you so concerned about getting a fucking A on your report?
Right.
Why are you still here, lady? Like,
Yeah.
come on, Edith, let's get her shit and go.
A really strange guy. And there's a difference between a really strange guy and a fucking creep, you know? Strange, weird, okay, but
But here's where she's going to get her first little taste of Victor, because that morning she's up making breakfast and shit.
Mhm.
And she comes over there and she sits down at the table and she has made whatever breakfast. And he makes a comment.
He
I
says
forget,
it's been a long,
Sophie or some shit. He makes a comment about, I guess, Sophie cooked or some shit.
yeah, and it's been a long time since anyone, I guess Sophie or Sophia, has made anything for him to eat.
Yeah.
And then, ooh, this is so Bill. This
Oh,
is
yeah.
we love him. He's kind of plays with his food, and then he puts one bite in his mouth and immediately starts choking on it and gets up shouts something about being a piece of shit.
You're a worthless piece of shit, is what he called her.
He screams at the plate, does the BOJ spittle, and then breaks it. And I mean, he just throws a fucking fit. And that is stellar. I watched it probably 3 times because it was so good. So yay,
that
Bill.
was a good part.
Yay. Yeah, that was good.
It was just Bill being Bill in that part, and I fucking loved it. Like you said, the slobber from the mouth, everything about that, just evil, mean, just everything comes out. And he gets up, and when he leaves, and she kind of goes in there, and there he is sitting in his interview chair, just sitting there.
It's ready. I have to tell you my notes. I'm so sorry, but gets up, says something about being a piece of shit, screams at, then breaks the plate. We see the BOJ spittle, a long string of slobber as he storms away from the table, leaving Edith wondering what the hell just happened.
Yeah.
So I just had to read my notes because that is exactly what I saw when I was taking notes. And I'm like, that is just another fine Bill performance.
It was. And once again, Edith, girl, what? Like, still, she is determined to, like, I'm going to get the story. I'm going to get my fucking passing grade because once again, I would have been looking for the exit, but she doesn't, and she goes in there, and he's sitting there, and you can tell he's kind of like really stressed out, and he's talking to her about Sophie, and I took it kind of like because maybe like I took it like maybe that was his wife or something, and as he's talking to her, he wants to take her out to lunch. He's like, let me take you, because he's just like, because you fed me that pile of shit in the kitchen. Let me take you somewhere to where they serve good food. And that's kind of where that came across to me. Is like, you suck in the kitchen, Edith, but let me take you somewhere where we gonna get something good to eat. And
how many more red flags does Edith need to know that this is not a healthy relationship?
Yeah, it is something.
How many times before you actually leave? Like, this is abusive.
Yeah, but Edith, you're a trooper, Edith. You hang in there, and so there's a part when she walks out to get ready to go to this lunch he wants to take her to, and you see she picks up like these cigarette butts off the little walkway. And we never come back to that.
Never.
I'm just like, she picks up these cigarette butts, and I'm like, okay, this is gonna be a little something. But it never that I know of comes back around.
I think later on we might figure out where that came from. But
is it gonna be fucking Peter?
It is Peter, but it's so loose. Like, that is so loose.
Peter, because he did say that he had met Peter like a week ago, and Peter comes into this thing later. My bad. Yeah. We jumped ahead of y'all a little bit, but it's all good.
It's good, but
we do what we want here.
It's so minute that I watched it. I watched this movie like twice yesterday just because I needed to take thorough notes. And so the only reason that I picked up on the cigarettes maybe making sense later is because of Peter, who our listeners don't know yet. So
yeah, and so her and Bill go out, they do some lunch stuff, and
she compliments him on his wallet.
Yeah, he pulls out a wallet that he said his mom had made him, and so they're having a little almost like date-ish type afternoon. And he goes in this place, buys like these burgers. They look like burgers almost.
They look like breakfast burgers that may be kind of hungry on like brioche buns or something.
Yeah, they look pretty tasty, and apparently she grabs the first one, and this is where the first little like, what the fuck? Because she bites into it and says the meat's raw. and he's like, well, I like it like that. And they
Oops, that's mine.
yeah, and so he's just like they're enjoying this fucking shit with him, and then it just kind of speeds up some more, and he starts telling her about how, she questions him about his wife, and he starts telling her about how they were together and how his wife passed away. Even then it just doesn't, it just kind of starts speeding up right here, and it's like throwing so much stuff at you because he's asking, talks about his wife at the time, Sophie, and how she passed away. Some people from the town did it, and then the next thing you know, bam, we're in the middle of the night again, fucking dark, and this is the one time she comes out with the camera, and this is where we catch Bill at the fucking refrigerator, the little mini fridge. And I thought Bill was, I thought he was butt naked right there in that part. I was like, is Bill fucking naked right now? Because there's a lot of movies where Bill, shows his,
Because we do see Bill naked a lot.
Yeah.
He's not pretty naked. It's so funny because my notes said, now it's dark in the house at night, and Victor is rummaging through that little kick fridge.
Yep.
Naked?
That's what I thought. I thought
Then
he was naked.
Then I said, I need to rewind that.
Of course you did. Of course you did. You probably slowed that shit down like quarter speed slow. Like
wait, he's naked.
Let me see if anything's dragging across the floor as Bill runs off on all fours.
Yeah, he's acted like a beast. And I'm like,
yeah,
naked.
and that was a creepy part when he was in the refrigerator, and then she's like, and she kind of calls out to him, but then he turns and runs out like on all fours, like just like an animal almost.
Yeah.
And I was just like, what the fuck?
That was great. That was great.
Yeah,
that was a phenomenal Bill performance right there. We're running out of it like a beast.
And then she kind of follows him outside, and then she sees him, and that's when I realized, okay, Bill's not naked. Bill's got some whitey whiteys on that are kind of dirty.
I thought, hey, they were blue BVDs.
Were they?
You taken the time to rewind it a couple of times, you would have noticed they were blue.
See, that's the difference between me and you there, Red. And, like you were concerned about the drawers covering Bill. I was not. Yeah, I wasn't.
I was like, there's his butt. I gotta look at it one more time.
Yeah. I feel sure you might have slowed it down a couple times. I was just getting through that part,
It looks good.
Because I was fully expecting to see some, casual cock swinging around with Bill. And I was completely prepared for it, And so I was surprised when I seen that he actually had some drawers on. And I was, okay, so, but then, even then, when she finds him, this is the part where you, like, something's definitely up right now, Edith. Like, Bill stands up, Victor, and he's got like blood all over him, and he's got like a rabbit in his hand. Like he's fucking eating this thing. Eat it.
He is just murdered, and you hear it. You hear it. You hear little squeaks, and if you've ever, unfortunately, I've heard a rabbit being killed, and it's a sound that when you hear it, you cannot unhear it. And I was like, that's that little squeaky. I was like, oh, that's pretty authentic rabbit kill sounds there. But he's holding up. He just go right now. Go get your keys. Forget all your personal shit. Just get in your car and go.
Edith is too kind-hearted. Edith is a sweetheart, and because she basically takes him back in, and I'm just like. And this is where, because this is so new, people, we're not going to get into how this thing starts coming to a head. We spoiled it up till now. I don't want to spoil it because I don't want everybody to know how it kind of, that little twist that comes at the end that I didn't see coming. I didn't see it.
I didn't either.
Yeah. And so, and this is where it's all going to start coming to a head and everything starts coming together. And this part I don't want to spoil because there's a lot of people out there who are going to see this title on the podcast. They're going to see it. And because it's like an independent horror and it's not something major that you can, a lot of people are going to scroll by it. They're not going, because for some reason people just overlook a lot of independent horror. And y'all are missing out when it comes to independent horror. Like, you've got to check these movies out. And this is one of those, like, yes, it's independent. Yes, this movie was done in like, I think I read where it was done in like 7 days. Like this was a, you know, and that's one of the things I find so cool about independent horror. The ones that the money, they don't have the millions and millions of dollars. They go in, they got this idea in their head and they're putting it out there with what they have. And that's why I find them, I love independent horror. And so if you're seeing this and you're thinking like a lot of people are going to see this title and they're going to be like, I ain't never heard of that. And you're not going to give it a chance because fucking social media did not tell you to go watch it. And I got it. And that's why I don't want to spoil this one. I want to give you all a chance to go check this thing out. And I know as of now, it's on more streaming. It's coming to more streaming platforms. I know when me and you got it was on Vudu, but I think there's like 2 or 3 different other ones that are on there that you can watch this movie on now. So
I had to watch it on opening day. I was like, I'm sure in like a few days it'll be everywhere. But I needed that instant gratification because I had been waiting.
Yep. You know, and like for us, because we're such big Bill fans, and I was and I was looking forward to the movie, and I couldn't wait to watch it and talk about it. So I want everybody to go watch it, go check this movie out, and that's why I don't want to spoil the twisting. I don't want to spoil the ending of how this whole thing kind of wraps up. We've got you to the part where everything's about to kick off and come together. So, this is the part of the show, and if you've listened to us before, we rate them on if we'd fuck it, marry it, or kill it, and that's what we're going to get to now. And I want to open up the floor to Jamie. Jamie, talk to me. Where are we going with this one?
I don't know that I could ever kill a Bill movie. I mean, I couldn't even kill Abraham Lincoln versus the zombies.
I killed that one.
I know you did. I guess I'll fuck it because I already fucked it the other day twice and it left me wanting more, even though it's not the most perfect film ever, but I might even watch it again. So what are you going to do with it, Jay?
Oh, I'm the same way. There's a part of me, I love Bill so much. And here's the thing, family, just because when I come here, sometimes we say we're going to kill a movie. I'm not killing movies in a way of saying, do not watch a movie.
Correct.
Some people, they'll rate a movie and be like, oh, that's 1 star. And you'll hear people talk shit about it and like, don't even waste your time. I hate that type of shit when it comes to movies. I hate it when people comment, they make comments like, don't waste your time on it. You know, fuck you, dude. Like, or whatever. Like, people's opinions are what they are. And when it comes to movies, everybody can have an opinion. And I respect any opinion anybody has of any movie. But there's certain times I've done this show and done movies where it's like, that's a kill. That's a kill because it was just bad. I hated it, didn't like it. I never want to watch it again. And and sometimes when I say a kill, that's what I mean. And then there's times when I say there's a kill just because it's a movie I know I don't want to go back to. I'm not going to rewatch it again. So for me, Stranger Woods is a kill. I'm not going back to it. Am I going to own Stranger in the Woods? Yes.
Yes.
Because I am a Bill O'Burst Jr. fan. I will own it. I have movies of his even in the background here. I have movies. I love him as an actor. And so I'm telling you, just because when I say I kill this movie, not that it's a bad movie. It's fun. It was entertaining. It's just one that I know I'm not going to pop back in again and watch it. I can say I own it. I want to own it, and I have it. But and like I said, trust me, when I did the month of Bill, you know, everybody's like, well, you're just gonna fucking marry all of his shit, you know. And,
you did.
But I didn't. And that's for me. Like, this movie was, go watch the movie because it's a twist the way it all comes together. So don't take it as me saying I will never tell you to not watch a horror movie. I will never come on here and say, do not watch this movie, do not waste your time. Go check this movie out, have your own opinion of it, whatever it may be. But for me, it's a kill. You know, as much as I love you, Bill. Just this is.
Yeah, I knew you were gonna kill it. I knew you were gonna. I knew it. But I think of it this way. I think of it as, okay, I've had some pretty fun one night stands. I mean, I wouldn't call them all sea donkeys. You know, like, I've had some. That said, don't need to revisit them. Like, you know, it was fun, but don't have to do it again. But I'm still not killing it. I can't kill Bill.
And so I get it, and trust me, I struggle with that.
Yeah.
It's like I like Bill so much, and it's like, you know, for the movie, and then I had to ask myself, realistically, is there going to be a time where I just want to pop this in and watch it for the fucking fun of it? No, because I know if I need my Bill fix, there's certain movies that my Mary is Circus of the Dead. My number one horror movie is Circus of the Dead. So for me, if I need my fix of Bill, I'm going to that. So yeah, for me, I'm not going back to Stranger in the Woods. I'm not going to watch it again, but I'm telling you, go watch it. And for people who do not give independent horror a chance, you're missing out on a lot of good stuff. Like, I love independent horror movies.
Yeah. And that's another reason I encourage people to at least watch it one time, because you are supporting independent film, independent horror, independent actors. Like, there's a lot of reasons to just go ahead and watch a movie, even if you think it's not going to be your thing. You're just supporting these people, and that's their craft. And, you know, throw them a bone, buy the movie on Vudy or whatever. Like, you know,
you can rent it. Like I said, for this movie on Vudu, you can rent for like $2.99. People, you can rent it. But
it'll probably be free on something soon.
Oh yeah, most definitely. It'll be where you can stream it for free. And but like for us, like, I had no idea going into it, but I was going to buy it. Like, I had to own it because Bill Oathburst Jr. is in it. If there's a chance where I can get the Blu-ray version of it, I'm going to own that too. Because I'm a fan. And so, but definitely go check this movie out.
For sure. And especially if you're a fan of found footage.
That's a decent little feel.
But if you like it, definitely this might be your jam. Yeah, for sure.
And it has, like I said, we didn't give the ending away. There is a little twist of how it all comes together.
Yeah, there's a lot.
I did not have no clue that was coming. That kind of caught me like, really? That's what we're doing?
That's what I liked. And then when I realized what was happening, I was like, oh, dumb. Like, I didn't see that. And again, that's why I kind of watched it twice yesterday or the day before, because I knew that after watching it once, I'm going to catch something I didn't catch the first time, like the cigarette butts, or there was a detail when he's holding the dead bunny that I did not think was significant until the ending. And then I was like, oh. So another reason to check stuff out, and sometimes even give it a second chance, even if you know you don't love it.
So you're telling me I need to watch it again. That's what you're telling me. You're telling me I need to watch it again.
You did.
Hey, I own it now. It's on my I own it digital. I want to own it physical eventually, but I own it digital.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
now if like my wife and the girls are coming out this weekend, if my wife says, "Hey, I want to watch this movie," I'll watch it because she wants to watch it. You know, but for me, and that will be the only reason why, but yeah, but hey, it's still a Bill Burst Jr. movie for me, and I fucking enjoyed that part of it. But hey, we got us friends with benefits with Jamie. We got us a kill for me, and hey, go watch the damn movie, people. Shit.
Yeah, it's great. It's great. Just a lot of great filmmakers. Go watch it. Go watch it for sure.
So that's going to do it for this episode of Fright Flick Fuck Marry Kill. We've kind of touched on a lot of shit on this show, people. We've talked about some fucking Swifties. We talked about how Jamie got an A in math. We've kind of been all over the place for this episode.
I gave a little dating advice.
Yeah,
Don't have one top or bottom.
Like a one-stop shop here, people. We cover everything's here. So talked about a stranger in the woods. Hey, you all know now how much we love some Billow Burst. And as far
Everyone I work with knows how much I love Bill. Because today I walked in, I was like, guess what, everybody, what I'm doing tonight.
Yep. So, hey,
I'm not doing Bill, but I'm talking about him.
Hey, what you doing your private time's up to you there.
Trust me, private times are.
What you doing? What you doing? We hang up from this video calls. Oh, hey, you need to go pop in some fucking Billow Burst. Hey.
Well, I'm probably gonna finally eat dinner, which I think it's hilarious that you and I both recorded on empty stomachs, because that's why I'm kind of like having to think about my words now. But I'm probably gonna get back to this really shitty series that I started last night when I couldn't sleep. And if y'all need a recommendation for a really shitty TV series,
don't say Baby Reindeer.
Oh no, but I did like it. What were your thoughts?
Oh, I just binged watched all 7 episodes of Baby Reindeer today.
I couldn't watch it fast enough.
Dude, I fucking loved it.
There are some people with more problems than me. Who knew?
Hey, low FYI, people, if y'all got some Netflix, go check out Baby Reindeer.
That shit was weird. And I was like, because I had heard, like, anytime there's a buzz about Baby Reindeer or whatever, I'm like, I don't always believe the hype. I don't know. Okay. And I turn it on and I'm like, what? And like 6 hours later, I'm like, I actually stayed up. I am not a night owl. I stayed up till like 2 a.m. watching that shit. And then I had to rewatch some of it the next day. So Baby Reindeer was good. But
hey, I got Baby Reindeer once again from the Screen Queer podcast. He was talking about it, and I was like, and I had seen it, and he mentioned it on the podcast. So I literally went on there today and binge watched all the episodes.
Oh, so you just watched it today? You
just watched today. I went from episode 1 to the end today.
Because you have to binge watch it. How else would you get through that fucking?
Yeah, I don't see how you could be watching that and then the episode end and you think to yourself, I'm just gonna go to bed. No, people, you don't fucking go to bed. You reach over and you push play next episode, damn it.
And the next thing you know, you're staying up till 2 a.m. when you have to get up early in the morning because you have to that fucked up shit.
I literally just finished it probably 45 minutes before we came on here and recorded this show. Like, I was into it, man. Like, Baby Reindeer had me. So go check that out on Netflix, people. But hey, I said, now we've covered everything now.
We have covered everything. We have.
But yeah, this is it's been a lot of fun, Jamie. Thank you for coming on here again. Look
you for
forward to the
having me.
next one. I think next week's episode I am doing with Lucy from Australia, from the land
Down
down under.
I already
Yeah.
know who Lucy is.
Yeah, see? Hey, part of the family. We're doing I think it's called Scare Campaign. I think
Okay.
you can watch it on Amazon or Tubi. I can't remember. It's called Scare Campaign.
Okay.
Same dude, the same people who did Late Night with the Devil
Okay.
did Scare Campaign.
Sweet.
So that's going to be next week's episode. We're supposed to record that this weekend, actually. So
Awesome.
that should be coming next week. So there's some homework, people. Go watch it. That way, when we spoil the shit out of it, you're not caught off guard. So
Yeah, and you might have an idea of what we're talking about because we do jump all over sometimes,
yeah.
but we're just so excited to talk about it, and we have our notes and we have our drinks, and
Hey,
that's how it happens, unscripted.
we just fucking send it on this show, people. Like I said, I may have notes, but
I like being on your show. I have a blast.
hey, I do too. So I appreciate you being on here again. And like I said, people, go check out A Stranger in the Woods. Bill O'Burst Jr., you fucking rock like always.
Yes. Bill, we love you. We love you. We love you.
Yes.
Love you.
And if some of you out there are watching this and have no clue who he is, or you have not,
Oh man, and you're missing out because
that old saying, Google me, bitch. Google Bill O'Burst Jr. and go check him out. You will not be disappointed in him. And but yep, that's going to get us to another episode of Fright, Flick, Fuck, Marry, Kill. We have reached that part of the show, family, where we all reach over and we grab our drinks. Need y'all to put your chairs away, gather up your shit, and get the fuck out of here.